Okay guys, I'm actually gonna show you, sorry about that, my new kale recipe. So I start with a little bit of oil, well, olive oil as you can see, just so it coats the bottom of the pan. And add to this, I am going to throw in some onions and garlic. So here are my onions. Go move these around a little so you can get a better shot. So I did dice and then I did some in like some slivers for a few different textures. And now I'm going to add some jarred minced garlic. So this is actually what I buy, so I'm going to add that. So now I'm going to add in my minced garlic. If that's too much garlic for you, you know, you can always change it up, but I like garlicky flavor, and it ain't nothing like the real thing. So I'm actually going to let this brown a little bit, and then I'm going to add my vegetable broth. So the onions and garlic are going to begin to break down, and you're going to start smelling a awesome aroma of them marrying with flavors. And this is one of the best things you can do, especially when you're trying to cook healthy, is add levels of flavor, especially if they're natural. So I typically do season it, but I season it a little bit later. I just like to see what happens naturally. So there's a little bit of browning happening, so I'm going to get my cans of vegetable broth ready to go in. So this is about a can and a half of broth, and it doesn't look the cutest right now, but I add that to my onions and garlic that have been sauteing previously. And I stir it up for a little while. I let it heat up for just a moment, and then I begin to add my kale. And when I come from the market, I actually take my kale and I wash it, I dry it, and then I put it in a Ziploc bag wrapped in paper towel so that absorbs the extra moisture and this helps it last longer. I find going to like different open air markets actually give you the best bang for your buck, because where I go I actually get a bunch of kale for $1. Okay, so now I am already going to add my kale. Since it's been torn from the stems already, it's already ready to go inside of the pot. So I just begin to add, and I'm actually putting quite a lot of kale. I think I'm going to, this is like 3 or 4 bunches just for this cup and a half of broth, because we're not boiling like you would do traditional greens. We're just really letting it braise more so. It's not going to cook that long either, because we still want to retain as much of the nutrients as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and keep adding this to the pot. So this is what it looks like after I've added the first bunch, and all I'm going to do is begin to mix. So just trying to get it all with that broth on it, pulling up some of the goodness from below. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to stir in my next bag. Okay? So what you will notice is that it begins to look like this very quickly. So then you have to move quickly and add your other bunches. So now I've added all of the kale, and it does cook down rather quickly, and that's why we're not going to cook it for like 30, you know, you're barely, probably your whole entire cooking time will be something over 30 minutes. But you really just want to get that dark green color, and you're just trying to stir down what you recently added so it begins to cook down as well. Okay? I say okay a lot. Sorry guys. But yeah. So I'm going to continue to stir, and I'm going to give you a look-see after. So here it is, literally just a couple of minutes later, You see it is boiling, and this is on about medium heat. I'll show you. That's how my heat looks there. On my stove it's like a 6 or so, so like medium high heat, and it is boiling, and you just want to let this cook down where you don't see any more too stiff leaves, and it's ready. You can season it. I like to throw in a little bit of cayenne, a little bit of sea salt and black pepper, but you can actually feel free to season this as you like. And I also like to eat mine with a little bit of vinegar in it afterwards. So here's a new way to cook kale. Thanks, guys. I just wanted to share with everybody. This is what happens when you put the cayenne. I think it looks so pretty compared to